Hi, if you're like me, you probably either know somebody who is into home brewing or you want to do some home brewing, but perhaps you do home brewing. And if you do home brewing, you probably started off quite similar to the way I started off some 30 years ago with the 5-gallon fermentation bucket. Now, we all know that this 5-gallon fermentation bucket has its ups and downs, and the major flaws: you have to transfer from your primary to your secondary fermentation and possibly contaminate your beer, get a lot of sedimentation, a lot of washing to do. Well, no more with that. Thanks to our good friends at FastBrewing for coming up with the FastFerment. This FastFerment has really taken the pain out of brewing. This now is a multi-stage fermentation system, unlike that single-stage fermentation bucket you've seen before. Holds about 7.9 gallons, has a collection ball on it, and it really has simplified my brewing process. And wouldn't be right if I didn't talk about the FastRack that the FastBrewing people also have. A really good way to dry your bottles and put them away sanitized. Well, told you a little bit about it. Why don't we go take a look at this FastFerment in action? Wow, it sure was hot outside. Before we get started, let's get a little refreshment. Again, nothing like a home brew. Okay, so here we have our fast fermenters set up on the wall. I've got one on the floor. Just wanted to show you it's got a good portability. You have a nice stand for it, and you can move that around for cooler spots if you're doing a different kind of beer, warmer spots if you're doing a different kind of beer. But I keep it down here in my temperature-controlled basement fermentation zone. I'm going to go over here to a couple of these and talk about what they do. One feature they have, you can have a temperature probe that's inside of the fermenter. You always know what temperature your beer is fermenting at. No sense in having one in all of them right now, because if one beer is a certain temperature, they're all going to be the same temperature, they're in the same spot. But I do have extras. So here's a batch that I put in here to ferment the other night. I'm going to leave it in here and ferment for a couple of hours, or a couple of weeks rather. And what I did is I filled it up, racking it in from the brew pot. And when I got it hung on the wall, I put the ball collection ball down here at the bottom. I opened up the valve, and this valve allows all the sediment to go down into the ball. Don't worry when you got, originally you'll have beer filled up in there, wort filled in there. As it ferments, the sediment will fall down in there and push the wort back up. So after a couple of weeks, I'll turn this valve off. And once the valve's turned off, I can unscrew the neck here, and I can take this ball and dump out the old sediment. And then I can rinse it out and put it through some sterilizer, put it back on there and open it up. Bingo, I'm in secondary fermentation. Nothing like the hassle that you went through with the buckets. After a couple more weeks, I'll turn the valve off again. I'll open it up. I'll take the ball off. I'll either save the yeast to use again for another batch, or I'll toss it, and then I'll hook up the hose, slide my keg underneath, open the valve up, all the beer empties down into the keg, finished. Then all I have to do is take this off the wall, go wash it out, and it's ready to go for the next use. Throw a little sterilizer through it. You can see that multi-stage fermentation vessel definitely puts a lot of ease into it. And I'll tell you, after 30 years of brewing, I really want to say thanks to Jess, Casey, and especially Mitchell for coming up with this fermentation thing. I met them at the conference in 2015 out in San Diego, and I sincerely consider them friends now. And just so you know, this is not a paid advertisement. I'm doing this sheerly because I think I am their biggest fan. There you have it, FastFerment. Now let's go have some fun. So what is the FastRack? FastRack is a really simple, sturdy bottle drying system. You have a catch basin to catch all the water or the sterilizer coming out of the bottles. You have the racks the bottles go in. Once you get a rack full, you set it in the catch basin, it drips into the basin, fill another one, set it on top, and so forth, and you can stack them and they dry. Then you can put them away. Now that I've told you, let me demonstrate the world famous FastRack challenge.
Are you ready, Tagg?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, FastRack. Nice. 13.84.
13.84?
Yeah.
All right, happy brewing.
Excellent. Good job.